Hello and welcome to This Week on WKTN. I'm Austin Boyd. Now in news this week, Ohio State Highway Patrol troopers filed felony drug charges against a Michigan man and woman after a traffic stop in Hancock County. During the traffic stop, troopers seized 183 grams of fentanyl worth approximately $27,450. On January 11th at 12:35 a.m., troopers stopped a rented 2023 Kia Sportage with Kentucky registration for a speeding violation on Interstate 75. While interacting with the occupants, troopers detected an odor of raw marijuana coming from the vehicle. The driver admitted to previously having marijuana in the vehicle. During a search of the vehicle, troopers located 1 gram of marijuana on the passenger's side and a magnetic box underneath the vehicle containing approximately 183 grams of fentanyl. A search of the passengers revealed 8 grams of suspected crack and 7 grams of marijuana on his person. The driver, Aisha Katrin, 45, and passenger Robert Lee Smith Jr., 48, both from Dearborn Heights, Michigan, were incarcerated in the Hancock County Justice Center and charged with possession of fentanyl, a first-degree felony. Smith was also charged with possession of cocaine, which is a fourth-degree felony. If convicted, Katrin could face up to 11 years in prison and up to a $20,000 fine, and Smith could face up to 12 and a half years in prison and a fine up to $25,000. Kenton City Council met for their second regular session on Monday evening. The Legislation, Codes, and Regulations Committee is moving forward with the solar legislation, but nothing yet has been set in stone. Councilwoman Sue Fox Baroker shared a City Tree Commission plan to plant 20 new trees in 2023. Ordinance 23-002 was passed. This bit of legislation sees $30,000 go to City Hall capital outlay, which was previously appropriated in 2022 but was not used. $3,000 for income tax office supplies. This item is for postcards that will be sent out to inform taxpayers why they will not be receiving income tax forms and to receive their e-file income tax account numbers. Finally, $12,000 for street light maintenance after a semi caused damage to a traffic light at Detroit and Franklin streets. Insurance will reimburse the city for this cost. Federal government to end SNAP emergency allotments after February. Ohio Department of Job and Family Services Director Matt Damschroeder announced Monday that changes in federal law mean that February will be the last month of emergency supplemental nutrition assistance program allotments. These are extra monthly payments the federal government created in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. In general, it ensures all households receive the maximum allotment of their household size. Beginning in March, recipients will receive only their one normal monthly payment. A fundraiser for a family of Wyandotte County boy is now underway. Wyandotte County area schools and Kimmel Apparel are conducting a fundraiser to raise money for the family of a boy diagnosed with ALD. Customers are encouraged to buy a t-shirt in their school color and wear them to school sporting events to show their support for Caleb. He is the son of Wyandotte County area high school sports reporter Lonnie McMillan. Shirts can now be purchased at Kimmel Apparel in Upper Sandusky. All profits will go to the McMillan family to help with the cost of gene therapy for Caleb. Kenton and Ohio High Point to add an additional agricultural education teacher. In a collaborative effort to serve students, both Kenton City Schools and Ohio High Point Career Center are investing in the Kenton High School agricultural education program by adding an additional teacher. Adding a second agricultural instructor will also allow the district to integrate the agricultural education program at Kenton Middle School to serve the 7th and 8th grade students. The teacher will have strengths in teaching mechanical principles and welding, but also have a background in agricultural education and FFA. Applications are currently being accepted for this position. Interested parties should reach out to Ohio High Point. Hardin County Board of Elections announces filing deadline. The filing deadline for partisan candidates and local questions and issues, including local option petitions for the May 2nd primary elections, is next Wednesday, February 1st. The petitions must be filed at the Hardin County Board of Elections by 4 that afternoon. The Board of Elections office is located in the basement of the Hardin County Courthouse in downtown Kenton. The identity of a man found floating in a retention pond behind Walmart on Trenton Avenue in Findlay this past Thursday, January 19th, has been identified. According to a release from Findlay Police Department, he has been identified as 45-year-old Benjamin L. Greeno of Findlay. The Lucas County Coroner's Office performed the autopsy and noted that there was no trauma to the body and foul play is not suspected. Police are still waiting for a toxicology result before concluding the investigation. Cross elected as Assistant Majority Floor Leader. State Representative John Cross, Republican of Kenton, was elected to serve as the Majority Assistant Floor Leader for the 135th General Assembly Tuesday. Cross will assist with the Majority Caucus in bringing legislation forward for consideration for a vote, maintaining communication between leadership and majority members, and help steer legislation for the House. A Delphos man was killed in an accident that occurred Thursday evening in Allen County. According to a release from the Lima Post of the Ohio State Patrol, 61-year-old Gregory A. Coons lost control of the pickup truck he was driving while traveling south on State Route 66. The vehicle ended up on the left side of the road where it struck the ditch and overturned. Coons was not wearing his seatbelt and was ejected from the vehicle. He was transported to St. Rita's Medical Center in Lima, where he was pronounced dead. 2 people were sentenced this week in Hardin County Commons Pleas Court, according to documents from prosecutor Brad Bailey's office. Ricky L. Wood was sentenced to 11 months in prison on 1 count of public indecency. Cameron D. Bopp was placed on 5 years community control with conditions on 1 count of attempted tampering with evidence. Both cases were heard by Judge Steve Christopher. Now with a look at sporting outcomes for this week. Kenton High School co-ed varsity wrestling finished 22nd place at the Invitational at Van Buren Local Schools. Tenora High School placed first in the team scores with 238 points. Lakota followed with a second place score of 189.50 points, and Allen East rounded out the top 3 with 144.50 points. Kenton once again placed 22nd with the score of 30 points. Kenton High School girls varsity basketball fell to Upper Sandusky High School on Monday night by a score of 61-51. Kenton High School boys varsity bowling beat Minster High School in their first match this week by a score of 2,633 to 2,518. Kenton High School girls varsity bowling fell to St. Mary's High School this week by a score of 17,089 to 717. Kenton High School boys varsity bowling also fell to St. Mary's by a score of 2,819 to 2,634. In the second match of the week for the Kenton High School co-ed varsity wrestling team, they fell to St. Mary's Memorial High School by a score of 66-6. Kenton High School girls varsity basketball was victorious Thursday night against St. Mary's High School with a score of 44-42. Last in sports this week, Kenton senior Riley Hunt won the 2023 Western Buckeye League Girls Diving Championship on Thursday. That makes her the first diver in Kenton history to win a WBL diving title. She finished the event with a score of 324.50. As a junior, Hunt was the runner-up in the event last year. Her next event will be the Northwest District Diving Meet, which will take place on February 15th at Bowling Green State University. That's it for this week on WKTN. I'm Austin Boyd, and I will see you next week on This Week.